need to speculate anymore what Azeroth is or if the Titans are evil. We just got confirmed answers to both. Azeroth was a goddess called Aln'hara that the Titans had ripped out and stolen from a location known as the Cradle, and they transferred her into the prison in Khaz'algar. With the new Midnight Alpha update, we got some of the most groundbreaking lore that we've gotten pretty much since the Chronicle. Yes, the entire Titan storyline was a complete lie and a cover-up. The haranir are the ancestors to the trolls, the original race created by the goddess Azeroth, and they had to hide when the Titans started ordering Azeroth, aka conquering Azeroth, and just using its resources. So let's look into this, because legit, this is the most groundbreaking lore we had gotten since forever. While having the best deals on the market for all games and software, Gamivo just added mobile top-ups for your favorite mobile games with the best prices that you can get with my Gamivo link in the description below. Best of all, if you use my code DORON, your discount will be even bigger, so make sure to use my link in the description and the code and check out Gamivo. So, literally, we do have the craziest new information that just kinda came out of nowhere. We suspected it and all, but in the Midnight Alpha, Blizzard just gave us potentially the most important lore since the Chronicle. And I know I say this pretty much all the time, but this really does change everything. I mean, this really is absolutely crazy. So, we've known for a while now that the entire Chronicle theory was pretty much BS, and recently that was essentially confirmed, but it was never fully confirmed. The entire storyline that Azeroth is an ascent titan waiting to be awakened by the saviors, the Titans. Yeah, that's complete BS. We've gotten hints throughout Dragonfight that Azeroth may be elemental in nature and that it is something different, and that the Titans had started corrupting her, so she's not naturally a Titan. However, no need to speculate anymore on this topic. We got the official confirmed information on Azeroth and what really happened back in the day, at least a significant part of the story. So, you know how the haranir used to refer to Azeroth as a goddess in the war with him? Well, that turned out to actually be the case. Azeroth's name is Aln'hara, and she was located in a place called the Cradle, which is actually Harandar, that we will visit in midnight. The Titans arrived, ripped her out, put her in the prison in Khaz'algar. I know, sounds super crazy, but let's look at this brand new information from the alpha. So the new zone Harandar is the location where the World Soul actually was. There is a root circle where she used to be, and it is the physical location of the Rift of Aln. This appears to be her heart is a crater. We have filled it, the entire whisper. This might actually be it. When Azeroth was ripped out by the Titans, the wound left, as they say, violence that will not heal, aka the Rift of Aln that I just mentioned. It is full of Aln dust, which by the way has the exact same color scheme as Azerite, and this dust gives haranir their powers to use these roots. Interesting enough, Azeroth has a companion, Cloud Serpent Spirit called Aln'hara, but we'll get to that later, as that could play into something entirely different. Now, the haranir are actually a core race, one of the oldest mortal races on Azeroth, probably the original race, that survived the Titan onslaught under the ground. They say that Aln'hara, aka the World Soul, created them, and they're like proto-trolls, the ancestors of all the trolls. They refer to other races as lesser troll kind. As the new lore goes, they have been around for tens of thousands of years, and they had to hide during the Titan reign. So they actually used to live on Azeroth, but they had to hide during the Titan arrival when these guys started ordering Azeroth. Freya, wild gods, the Titan Forged marched around Hyjal, but the haranir managed to hide. They actually developed druidic shape-shifting during this time to blend in with the occupation. It is around this time that the two groups were created, the Dark Trolls and the ones that went below. As you may know, this other group are the Night Elves. However, as this original group hid in the ground further and further, they started encountering crazy Titan Forged constructs, old god minions, Nerubians, and this really is when they had first reached Khaz'algar. During this time, the Titans were having a field day on Azeroth. They were already transforming dragons, and they actually heard about the haranir. They tried to dig them out to order them, but they never actually managed to do it. Now, here is what is really interesting. Harandar is apparently the original location where Azeroth's World Soul was, and the Titans found her and ripped her out, and then apparently transferred her to Khaz'algar. Now, all these World Tree routes are actually connected in Harandar, and this allows the haranir to travel across the world. Recently, their leader Orbenia started pushing the haranir to come out of this eternal hiding essentially, and this happened after she started hearing the Radiant song. Keep in mind though, the prophecy beware the eyes are green, so maybe the Dreadlords put their hands in on these guys to get them out of hiding to do something else, but we'll discuss that in a different video. What is really interesting though is how absolutely crazy this new lore revelation is. I mean, it literally changes the entire lore from the ground up. While this new lore indicates that Azeroth is a goddess called Aln'hara, it doesn't change like the entire world soul thing. I mean, it is still the prime world soul. Aln'hara is the name the haranir use as her followers, but we still don't have information as to what kind of goddess she really is and what her original form used to look like. It does, however, reveal what the world souls kinda are. We previously wondered where even is the world soul and what does one awakening even mean? How does that happen? Are they like omnipresent across Azeroth or are they in a single place? It looks like they are in fact in a single place. What is even more interesting is that apparently you can rip out a world soul and just kind of put it in a different place. Obviously something magical is happening around the world soul because the Titans couldn't just build a prison around it, and for some reason they chose that one spot, Khaz'algar, but I think we'll learn why a bit later down the line. But this 100% confirms the Titans are in fact evil. They are invaders. They're literally the same thing as the Black Empire, the Titan Empire that wanted to use Azeroth for their own goals. I think the Khaz'algar World Chamber thing might be like a capsule or something where they brought Aln'hara in order to possibly convert her into a Titan. However, this raises a ton of questions as to what were the old gods doing then? Why didn't they just steal Azeroth or take her into the heart of the Black Empire? However, looks like the old gods corrupting world trees isn't just one of the things they do, but it seems to have been their main goal. As you can see, world trees are all connected to the original location of Azeroth, roots are still around, so world trees are much more than just large magical trees. This even connects the entire Shadowlands ordeal in Ardenweald and the world tree that was there as well. Something is going on with that too. Also, if you didn't see recently, we started getting information that the Titans might have also put their hands on creating the Shadowlands as well, like some sort of a deal, like something is artificially happening there. So the Shadowlands might literally just be another layer of the prison they just imposed on us, and it may be powered through Aln'hara that they had stolen. This really is groundbreaking as it seems to personify world souls. Maybe they really are figures and not just like large bundles of energy inside a core of a planet. With some of these hints, you can imagine Azeroth to be akin to like one mega wild god, but honestly, nothing confirms it yet. It is really just a haranir having a name for the world soul and worshipping her as a goddess. Now, it appears with the alpha that we will get more questlines like the weekly Titan archives that we had back in the War Within, so this is just the start, but it already reveals a crazy amount of information. We got the entire questline in the alpha right now with certain sections of the world trees, the culture of the haranir, some more details, and interesting enough, the burning of Teldrassil was actually one of the major trigger events, and there is actually a reason the jailer orchestrated that. As I just said, world trees are much more important, and this got haranir to start coming out of hiding. It got a Radiant song to start. It pushed a whole lot of other events into motion that we are just figuring out right now. So Blizzard really did throw a curveball on this one, and looks like Harandar isn't going to be just like a random filler zone for Midnight, but probably the zone where we will get the most answers as to what exactly happened and what Azeroth truly is. Also, what is this cloud serpent spirit called Aln'hara, and how does that play into the entire ordeal? And also, what is the actual nature of Azeroth? Based on these recent hints, it kind of seems to be shifting more towards Azeroth being life-oriented as opposed to elemental, and this just kind of opens like a Pandora's box. Who is Elundan, and why is she connected to everyone from the Night Elves to the World Trees? Is she possibly a Titan plant or the daughter of the goddess Aln'hara? All of these are topics I'll discuss in the future as we learn more about what is really happening. Thanks for watching. Check out my video on the neutral zone that we just discovered in the alpha by clicking on the screen, and also check out my video on the Titan lore and Greek mythology that I've recorded live on site in Italy by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time!